a bad loss, but Browns are gonna get clapped next week, so it's all good. All right.
You lost bad when you got to get salty on your own stream just to talk about how the team that y'all just got smacked by is about to get smacked by a team you're playing next week. Pittsburgh Steelers, it's time for a rebuild, and honestly, y'all going outside. It's unfortunate, man. What's going on, everyone? It's Richly Mikeyy Beezoo back at y'all once again. NFL wildcard reaction and NFL divisional round preview, plus a few side notes from the collegiate ranks. Also, it's a good time for football all around. I mean, NFL news as well, so we're kind of just gonna get into everything. Gonna try to condense it as best as I can. And with that being said, I do appreciate everyone that has been constantly subscribing to the channel, giving mad support. I appreciate all the love does not go unnoticed. The haters, wherever you are, I'm sure you're gonna start popping up soon, because the majority of my content is going on people that haven't supported me from years of just friendships, so even before the YouTube stuff, which is how it's supposed to be. At least I think so. Anyways, let's get straight to it. Hey yo, don't think y'all. Oh, okay. Just want to make sure she was listening. So, the Miami Dolphins, right, and the New York Jets, rivals in the AFC East, have a lot of options and a lot of thinking to do. In particular with the Jets, I think perhaps Devontae Smith is an option at number 2. I've been saying this since last year. If you go look at the stats, it reflects the same thing as well. Devontae Smith was the best receiver out of the gentlemen that will eventually become first round picks by way of the University of Alabama. I think it's clear. I mean, let's put it in context, right? He won the Heisman. He showed why he won the Heisman in a half. I mean, the top corner that's coming out next year will remain anonymous. This is for you guys to do your homework. I'm about to be throwing y'all gems and this and that, right? He's probably gonna be the highest rated corner. Price is Pat Pete, and the hype is higher for sure. Same alma mater. Well, technically not his alma mater because he's still enrolled in school. But the point is, he was cooking him his first year, and he was getting busy with him this year. You won't have to see him for technically a year, 2 years since Devontae will be going to the NFL. The point I'm saying is that Devontae Smith is the real deal. If the Jets pass on him at 2 and they go quarterback, I would not be surprised, and I wouldn't be quite mad, but he would definitely, he's going to help. I don't think this is going to be a situation. I'm sure Jets fans remember D. Milner. I still almost said D. McMilliner. D. Milner, right? I think he went 6th overall 6 or 7 years ago. He's already out the league, clearly, but D. Milner, one of those Nick Saban cornerbacks, makes big corner, physical, had good speed. He's a bust. Things happen. I don't think this is going to be a situation. If you watch Devontae Smith, no matter what jersey he's wearing, now quarterback will affect you sometimes because some QBs are incompetent. They don't know how to get the ball out. But Devontae Smith, man, his release off the line, his route running, his suddenness, he's smooth. Those are all the qualities, and catching in traffic for a guy of his stature. Obviously, he's not, a big time. No, excuse me. He ain't no big body receiver. He's under 180. Devontae Smith really kind of reminds me of like an Allen Iverson, 6 foot 175. Just pure skills, pure heart. That's my comfort, Devontae Smith. Allen Iverson. A lot of people are trying to go out there and say Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice's game speed is probably Devontae Smith's speed, but that's a lot to throw on Devontae Smith saying Jerry Rice, who I think is the second greatest receiver of all time. We're not going to get into that. The point is, Devontae Smith, 2nd, 3rd overall, I'm fine with that. I don't think that's reaching too high. Jamar Chase lost some money not playing this year, and then he got outperformed. He would have got outperformed either way because who was at quarterback that 1st overall last year. Anyways, moving on. The Dolphins, do I think they should draft a new quarterback instead of Tua? I think they shouldn't. I think they should surround Tua with talent. I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to take Penei Sewell, the left tackle out of the University of Oregon, at number 3, and And then at 19, there will be a receiver there. It will be nice for them to reunite too with someone he's familiar with Jalen Waddle at 18. So I think Jalen Waddle will be there at 18. So this is a heavy draft, man. Rondale Moore from Purdue, he's going to be there as well. There's a few other guys I'm mentioning. This isn't disrespect or slander. I just woke up, I had to get this video out to give y'all some content. But for the most part, if they can get a Rondale Moore or even Jalen Waddle, someone that's dynamic, but someone that's a more savvy route runner and that can actually, provide some offense, some spark. Because Devontae Parker, he's a legit one. I feel like him and Tua couldn't get on the same page this year, but I think heading to a full off season of work, even amid COVID, they can actually kind of gel and work together, and then they can move on somewhere else. So there is that. Where I start. Juju Smith-Schuster, this Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this hurts me to say it more than I need to say it, right? Juju, bro, you took a fat L, man. A lot of your stats came on drags, crossing routes. I watched the tape. A lot of y'all just see numbers. Y'all see 10 for 150 a tub. Yeah, that looked good, but of course, take what the defense gives you. I'm not mad at that. But for as complex as offenses are today, obviously Big Ben doesn't have the arm he once had. He can't push the ball down the field as much as he would like to, and the defense was basically not playing none of that. So I'm disappointed for the simple fact that you're not even in the elite wide receiver tier to even be putting out this type of bulletin board material. And I'm disappointed also even more in Mike Tomlin, although he couldn't stop you because you were getting an interview. You can't just have that spidey sense, oh my gosh, you're just about to say this on the media. No, I'm sure he hollered at him afterwards, but at the same time, you were supposed to have already had learned all this, because what you went through Antonio Brown and that whole drama, fiasco, whatever you want to call it, and for the simple fact that you gave them the opportunity to feed into that. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers were on 13 versus the Browns in the last 13 matchups. No, I'm wrong. It was like 0-13 either in playoffs. It couldn't have been playoffs because the Browns were in the playoffs. It was something along the lines of 0-13. I want to say in the last 13 matchups. It was a crazy number. It was 0-13. I just know Browns was 0-4. Steelers were 13. And I thought about it and I was like, man, I made a bet on that game too. I was like, you know what? I should really bet on the Browns. But my mind was telling me no. And that was the only game I lost. Steelers fans, y'all going down sad. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if y'all watched, I would have think y'all watched. Big Ben, if you're not going to retire, that's fine. But the Steelers desperately need to look for the heir apparent. And I'm disappointed that they haven't even made that an actual effort. They haven't drafted a QB in the first or second round. They haven't tried to trade for a young guy to kind of just groom him along. We already, look, Aaron Rodgers is what, 3 or 4 years younger than Big Ben? I think he's about 2 years. Because Rodgers came out 04. No, he came out 05. Big Ben came out 03. So he's like 2 years, 3 years younger than Big Ben, right? We've seen Rodgers have a quarterback drafted underneath him this year, and he's basically putting up a career year and about to win the MVP. But yet the Steelers have just let Big Ben come in every offseason. Oh, I don't know if I want to play this year. I'm only retired, man. Maybe they're pulling a Brett Favre on him, flying guys out to his house. Hey, Big Ben, we need you to come back, man. We need you to really lead this team to another first round, second round exit, man. We need you. Steelers, y'all need to get together, man. Y'all defense is a solid defense, but it's not elite. Y'all need some playmakers, honestly. I like 11. I think he could develop into something. It's like the Steelers always find receivers either way it goes, so I'm not surprised if they got a gem in him. I think he's really the best receiver on the team. I think next year he'll be able to take a big step, but we'll see who's the quarterback next season, and we'll see if they let go of Mike Tomlin. I wouldn't be surprised if they fire him as well. Moving on to the next game, we're going to bounce around from each conference. Saints and Bears, we're going to spend as minimal time as I would like to. I dislike both teams for various and obvious reasons. I'm a Vikings fan, so this is Bears K Nation. I picked the Saints for good reason. I think it's time for the Saints to find out their heir apparent at quarterback as well. Drew Brees looks done. I can call it what it is. I mean, he's pretty much at the same stage that Peyton was when he won that Super Bowl, and I don't think the Saints get in the Super Bowl. Alvin Kamara, top 3 running back. Safe to say, he's top 3. Mike Thomas, top. I tell y'all last year with him running all them slants, he was playing. I think Mike Thomas is the top 5 receiver. He's the best receiver last year. Obviously, he was able to play this whole year to defend that title and that notion as the best receiver. But it's safe to say Mike Thomas is a top 5 receiver when he's actually in gear and in rhythm and tuned up. But something has to be said about Drew Brees, man. He's playing the Bucs this weekend. We'll get into those a little bit later. Me personally, I expected them to win. So like I said, I ain't gonna talk much more about it. Saints took care of business. They have a good defense. We'll see how they play in this matchup. Primetime matchup. This is the game of the week, honestly, in my opinion. Saints Bucs. Divisional matchup, rivals, the whole point. But I wasn't really checking for this game. I watched the game as much as I could, but I wasn't checking for it. I just like it. Bills, Colts. Now, I didn't expect this game, like going into the game, I didn't expect this game to be a 3-point game. This was a very, very entertaining and competitive game from both sides. The Bills do need to tune some things up, and I feel as if their defense was a bit exposed. Now, I guess in this current age, the Bills defense is technically they're borderline elite, but they're not quite elite. They don't really have anyone on that side of the ball that's dominant. Let's just call it like it is. They're a bend but not break unit, but it can lead to potentially a Super Bowl appearance. The Colts were, in my opinion, it was really outmanned. Their defense stepped up. They defense stepped up big time. They was outmanned in my opinion, but hey, I ain't got a hat on, but hats off to y'all. Y'all did your thing. Phillip Rivers led them to a playoff appearance. I think it's time for them to address a quarterback potentially. Carson Wentz. We'll see what happens with there. Maybe in the draft. Who knows? Vernell, y'all took that L, baby. What's up? Seahawks going all the way, bro. You got my team messed up. I picked them and then y'all lost. I don't want to hear no more football talk from you, bro. You out of here. Got their jerseys on. No TG 400 out of here, man. But still, Rams, Seahawks. Now, this was something to keep an eye on because in my head, I'm like, listen, the Rams are dangerous. Aaron Donald by himself is 3 offensive linemen, depending how hot he is. And the Rams, it seemed like the Rams learned something from the Patriots in Super Bowl because they ran some stunts, they ran some schemes with him on it was a thing of beauty. For the football purists, you had to enjoy seeing Aaron Donald getting off. But pause. Whew. Boy, horny out here. Aaron Donald was doing this thing. Michael Brockers was doing this thing. Jalen Ramsey, I think he overrated. Do I think he worth the money again? Yeah, in this era, yeah. Players getting chipped off at all-time high. But I mean, I have to say, I think you're a little overrated. I think you are. Because there was one overthrow in particular, you got burned. Now, we all know you can't run with DK Metcalf. We all know that. But I'm not going to play it and fake the funk like you just a 06 Namdi, a 2011, 2012 Darrell Revis. I can't even say if you a Pat Pete because I don't really see you even playing in the slot. I don't really watch Rams games. I just like this jersey. I like Todd Gurley, so I know you're going to wonder why you even have the jersey on because you stupid. You stupid enough to watch this video watching my content. So therefore, I'm going to talk my you know what, and I'm going to get my stuff off. The point is, Jalen Ramsey, I think he's one of the top 3-4 cornerbacks, but I don't necessarily think he's like heads and shoulders above the rest. But you held him to not putting up crazy numbers. Because listen, if Russ would have just put a little more, if he had a little more time to put air on that ball, that's a tutty. So DK would have had 3 tubs on the day. This might be a whole different game. Y'all might be the ones at home instead. But football's 4 quarters. So I was really disappointed in the Seahawks play calling. They called a lot of play action, and if you look at their statistics rushing, they actually were effective. But there was a few times when I felt like it was too obvious what they were going to do. And what I mean by disappointed, run some read options. What's wrong with y'all? Russ can still move. I know you don't want to put him in danger like that, but at least isolate the defensive end. I mean, it blew my mind. Carroll, he got out-coached. No one's going to call for what it is, but he got out-coached. He's a Super Bowl head coach. No one's going to come for his job, which I think is ironic, right? Seahawks, Steelers. Anyways, DK, I think you thought you was better than you are. Slightly. You're about top 10, fringe top 10. Because there were some guys that banged up, Julio, Mike Thomas, so I still think it's elite receivers. You see Antonio Brown, I don't think he's quite AD, but he started seeing AD warming up, so that's a scary thing. Mike Evans. So, slow your roll, man, because that was your fault in that pick. Russ shouldn't have thrown it. He should have been, let me throw this in the dirt, but he's on the sidelines doing all that bannering and stuff, and then look at that, he calls the interception. So, just chill next time, man. I know y'all took the L. You gotta panic. You're gonna have more opportunities, Lord willing. You don't get hurt, or nothing of that nature happens in the forward. You have a bright young future. Those Calvin Johnson comparisons need to stop, though. Please. Because I'm not seeing you doing no red zone catches, no high point. You're not bossing nobody. I just see you just doing slants and nines and posts. The young Terrell Owens route tree. So just slow down the comparisons a little bit. Ravens, Titans, the cameraman right there with the water. I kind of had a good idea where this game was going to go. I didn't think they was going to shut down the Titans' run game to that extent. Getting back in prison time, for you can. I told you, Derrick Henry can't offer you in the run game. Then what? He the best running back, but at least McCaffrey could have still got thrown in the slot. But we not gonna get into that. I ain't gonna slight nobody. It is what it is. Henry was 2K, but they shut that boy down. Ravens defense was not having none of that. Shouts to Lamar. I know we all looking forward to discussing that play. I'm sure we haven't already, but Lamar's acceleration is crazy. I don't know if he quite 4.28, 4.29. He could be on certain days, but that acceleration was crazy. The first guy, obviously, he had his responsibility, but I believe that was either the up back or that might have been the tight end. But once he got past him and then Byard took that sloppy angle, I was like, yup, house call. He is gone. He's out of there, man. So hats off to him. Invisible hats off. Lamar, you put the team on his back. Do I think he can do that performance again? We'll see if you continue to watch the video. Like that one, huh? Frank Tannehill, if you looked at his numbers, as I said in the last video, he had over 40 touchdowns. And that's pretty good. 40 touchdowns with less than 10 picks. 40 total touchdowns, less than 7 picks. Those are MVP numbers depending on the type of... You know what? If he would have ran for 1,000 yards, he would have pretty much had the numbers that Lamar had last year. Huh. It's crazy. So the Bucks traveled to Landover, Maryland. And it was a good game. Bucks did anything. AB's looking like he's getting res. I'm pretty safe. Mike Evans played. That was a good time. Chris Godwin, you got to work on them hands, baby. Brady out there, the greatest quarterback / greatest football player ever to play, is saying that you have one of the best hands he's ever seen. Brady's been playing for over 20 years, bro. Professionally. And he said you have one of the best hands he's ever seen. He's talking about Moss, Wes Welker. I mean, you could throw Gronk in there. He's talking about some dudes with hands, Hall of Fame hands. You work on them hands. I want to see 150 snags on that jug machine, man, because you dropped 2 passes. You should have caught 2 of them things. And versus the Saints, I don't think y'all going to be able to get away with that. So that's going to be very crucial to keep an eye on that. I think game ball the whole weekend has to go to Taylor Heineke. I think I'm saying his name wrong. The point is, I think at the least, the Washington football team, they found their backup and potentially, it's very potent. They may have found a backup, and depending on how much work he puts in and the scheme that fits him best, and vice versa for a potential suitor, he's earned himself some money. I think we can all agree to say that, because I'm like, yo, he's mobile. Oh yeah. He's not like, you know, super mobile, but he's mobile enough. He has a future in this league. Well, I say he'll be a Super Bowl contending type quarterback, Pro Bowler. I can't go as far as to say that. I'm not getting that vibe. But I will say he has a future as a really good backup if he puts in that work. Because for him to be on the bench, I know he's already had his opportunities in Carolina, I believe so, and a few of the teams. But for him to play this well in a playoff game versus Brady, this ain't a Heineken, but if I had one, cheers, my friend, because you balled out. Wasn't the greatest stat line, but you played good. Hats off to Terry McLaurin. I believe the receiver Sims or Mims, he was going to make some catches in traffic. I'm like, whew. I don't know if I would have went up for that because he could have got blasted a few times. So hats off to them. The football team, their defensive line is good. They got to improve the rest of the team. So we'll see what happens with them in the future. Overall, this was a very competitive game also. You know, the Bucks were up by as much as covering the spread. They unfortunately weren't able to because it was 9. And that was it, man. So Mikeyy, man, putting that work in this offseason, Playboy, you gonna get a check. You gonna get a bag, bro. He could be the new Ryan Fitzpatrick. A mobile Ryan Fitzpatrick, just journeyman. Anytime he really comes in, he's gonna give you about 5 good games with no pressure. And he's gonna do his thing, man. I was just impressed to see how athletic he was. All the quarterbacks now are mobile. I thought he was a standstill pocket quarterback, but nah, bro can move, man. So we gonna see what it is, man, going forward. Now time for the good stuff. The divisional round preview. So we got Chiefs and we've got the Browns, and then we have the Bills against the Ravens. Those games can technically go either way, man. I think the Chiefs are going to beat the Browns. I think it'll be a close game, but I think they're going to beat them. If they could stop Chubb, similar to how they got on Henry last year in the title game, then I think they'll for certain be able to get back to the title game this year. That's the key. Stopping Chubb. Kareem Hunt, does he get revenge on his former employer? That'll be something to keep an eye on as well. But if they can, that's going to be hard to stop that run game unit, man. They had 2-3 guys all pro, if I'm not mistaken. I know they had Conklin, they had Joel Bettino, and then they had their right guard, either left or right guard. No, Bettino's guard as well, but they had 3 all pros. So they have one of the best lines in the NFL. It's quiet as kept. They just don't get that media attention a la the Dallas Cowboys, of course. Although the Cowboys O-line, when all those dudes were leaps and bounds. Just ask Ezekiel Elliott, because he looked like he's suffering. But the point is, I like the Chiefs in this game. I like them by a ton. Moving on, Bills, Ravens. Do I think Lamar can put the team on his back? I think the Ravens can win this game, honestly. I think Lamar has learned from last year. I wouldn't really call this an upset, but I do think that the Bills are being coached properly, but it's just something about the talent. Do I think Lamar's better than Josh Allen? Yeah, but this year he wasn't. So we'll see if the Ravens supporting cast is able to step up. They need to run the ball better too. And they gotta stop relying on Lamar, because putting your quarterback so much, even though he's young, I know y'all use your legs, he'll catch up to you. Y'all seen Josh Allen already get knocked out of a football game before in the big league. So, you know, we'll see how it goes, but it'll be an entertaining matchup for sure. So I think I have to make a pick, right? Yeah. So I think I'm going to pick the Bills. I'm going to pick the Bills. Bills Chiefs AFC title game, the matchup we want to see. Well, I think we want to see. We're playing against the Packers. Woo! Aaron Rodgers, run! The Packers should win this game. Although, once again, if the Rams are disruptive enough, which I'm sure they will, and the Packers, if anyone actually watches the Packers like to run similar play action to how the Seahawks do, with going outside the pocket and setting your feet. But that's hard, man, when you got Aaron Donald on the edge, and he's about as smart as it gets in the league, especially as a defensive player. I got the Packers, but I mean, you see the 2 ways this game is 3. Packers win close, Packers blow them out, or the Rams win. It's gonna be one of 3 outcomes. I can see all 3. But I got Packers. Their defense isn't terrible. It's good, but it could be a little better. Could be. There was one playmaker on that defense. Man. The Packers defense ain't been the Packers defense since they had Matthews and Charles Woodson. We all know that. So And that's okay. I know I shouldn't be comparing those two, but it's called like it is. Saints Bucks. I'm going Bucks. I think the Bucks will finally beat the Saints. Bucks are gonna beat them this time. I'm gonna bet on the Saints, but I'm telling y'all, I think the Bucks will beat them. I think they're gonna get together. The offense is starting to look sharp. AD's getting there. I don't think, I for sure don't think any of the corners from the Saints can handle AB. And then you got Mike Evans, so it's like pick your poison, man. If Brady's smart, just get the ball to the open guy, get to the guy that's winning the matchup, and don't do nothing irresponsible, Tommy. Just do what you gotta do to get the dub. They get Devin White. I'm gonna say Devin Lee. Woo. They get Devin White back this weekend, so that'll be able to help bolster that unit. Plus, they're gonna need somebody to rotate with Lavonte David on Kamara, man. This is gonna be an interesting matchup. This is the game I'm actually looking forward to seeing the most. I'm gonna watch all 4 games, either way it goes. So, yeah. So it's gonna be lit, y'all. It's gonna be real lit. Moving on. There is nothing else to move on to. Like I said, Packers. I said Bucks. So we get Brady, Rodgers. NFC title game. We never got them in the Super Bowl. Crazy, right? And then we'll get Mahomes and the boy himself, Josh Allen, in the NFC title game. And then, like I said, I had Bucks, Chiefs, and Chiefs going back to back. So I'm technically still on par. All on par still. So the game has to be played on Sundays, unfortunately. Fortunately. Y'all heard it here first. And I'm looking forward to it. Thank y'all for liking this video. I hope y'all like this video. I'm already telling y'all that y'all already like the video. I hope y'all like the video, man. Recording is fun. Editing part is not so fun. That's why I see like a lot of rappers like listening to other people's stuff. Just like me, I like watching other podcasts and other stuff. I don't even like watching my own content. For the simple fact that I've watched it so many times repetitively. Like, I enjoy it. I would just like for you guys to enjoy it. Like how I did that. You guys. Should have been back in the 50s. Anyways, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Like I said, smash that like button. It's your boy Mikeyy Beezoo. Got more content coming. Got some 2K content coming soon, y'all. Soon. I'm trying to edit the videos so that way I can split out a new episode each and every time. So, it's yours truly, Beezoo. Out of here, y'all. Take it easy. Wear your mask. Be appropriate. Be responsible. Be accountable to your decisions. Love. Peace. We out.